And now I'm going to enlarge our document camera so that we can talk about quiz corrections. So I actually sent you guys the instructions for quiz corrections yesterday because I know that a lot of you were kind of nervous about your quizzes. Where did I write it? I might have written it on the back of something else and taken it out. Okay, so we'll rewrite it. That's fine. So for quiz corrections, there are specific things that I need you to do. Okay, so for quiz corrections, the first thing I need you to do is write a sentence. This needs to be a complete sentence. Okay, explaining what you did wrong the first time. Okay, if you simply did not answer a question, you can say, I had no clue how to do this because of whatever reason, and so I did not answer the question. That's an acceptable sentence, okay? But if you showed some sort of work, I need you to write what was wrong with that work. Why does what you did not work, okay? And then I need you to show correct work, okay? The work part is important. I will not give you credit for corrections if you do not show work and a correct answer. Okay, so these answers and work need to be correct. If you submit quiz corrections and you get all of the questions wrong again, I'm not going to give you credit for it. We're correcting our work, so I need correct answers and correct goal solutions. You may work with one another on quiz corrections. You may use your notes for quiz corrections. You can even use the internet for quiz corrections. You can look things up. That's totally fine with me. As long as your sentence is there, you show your work and your correct answer. Normally, I only give half points back, but because this was your very first quiz, I'm going to give you 3/4 points back. This means that if you got a 0 on it, if you tried the quiz and you got every single problem wrong, your grade would go up to a 75% if you did your corrections perfectly. Okay, so that's a really, really good curve. Another way to think about it is you got 70 total points on the quiz. Maybe you got a 60 out of 70, okay? If you were to get all of your corrections perfectly right, you would take those, so you're missing 10 of these points right here, okay? You missed 10 points on the quiz. You would take those 10 points, multiply that by 3/4, okay? 10 times 3 is 30, divided by 4 is 7.5. So this means that you would get 7.5 points back on your quiz, which means that you would get a 67.5 out of 70 on your quiz instead of this 60 out of 70. Okay, so that's how the points are going to work. You will submit this to, let's see, there's another thing. So you will turn in to the original assignment. I have opened it back up so that you can do 2 submissions. Okay, the original assignment, I think, was just called quiz-functions. Okay, so you'll go back and find that in our modules and you will turn in your corrections to that. Your corrections just need to be on a sheet of notebook paper. I already have your quiz stored in Canvas, so I can look at it. And so I can look at your original answers. Let's see what else. If you have not even done the quiz yet, most of you did the quiz, but there were a few of you that have not. You can still do it. I believe the quiz is still open because if we were in school, I obviously am not going to prevent you from making up a quiz after a certain amount of time. You have pretty much until the end of the quarter to make up quizzes. So you could still turn in your original quiz and do quiz corrections on it, but it's got to be done quick because the quarter's coming up. Okay, before we move on to remediation, does anybody have questions about quiz corrections? Okay, if there are no questions on quiz corrections, we're going to talk about this remediation assignment.
Wait, what quiz are you talking about?
The functions quiz. So let me see if I can find it in our modules. Okay. It's probably going to get mad at me and scroll everything back up in a second, so bear with me. Where are we? Oh, it did it. I think it was in it was in Unit 1A. So you'll click on that, and it should be right here. So on September 8th, okay, this functions quiz, okay, and I will write that down on this sheet. So you're turning it into the original assignment, and I said it what date did I say it was? September 8th? Yes. Okay, so this is on 9/8/2020. Okay, so it's on that section of that module. Okay, any other questions about quiz corrections?
How do you know which ones you got wrong?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually. So I'm not sure how to do this without showing somebody's quiz. Okay, so if you scroll up and you go to quizzes, you should be able to find, where is it? No, it's not under quizzes. I apologize. It's under assignments because it was a handwritten quiz. So if you go to assignments and you find this quiz, you could also just click on it from your Canvas page. Okay, so you'll click on this to get to your quiz. Your quiz should show up, and I put comments on every single question. So my page looks different than yours. But you should be able to click on the quiz that you submitted and you can see view comments. And I commented, I wrote actually on the quiz, I showed how many points you got for each problem. And I wrote a little comment down on the side. If you need help finding that, we can go through and try to do it student view after class. But it's all on Canvas. What other questions do you guys have? And obviously you do not need to correct problems you got right, okay? So skip the ones you got perfect and only do the ones where you got some points off. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the remediation section. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys old Unit 1 exam questions. Okay, I'm going to reorganize these questions so that they are in sections. Okay, so we'll maybe have a section on domain and range. Inequalities, etc. Okay, so I'll have a little section of questions for each one. You must show work for every problem because these are going to be multiple choice questions. Okay, so I don't know what is going on with my handwriting today. So in order to get any credit, you must show work, okay? If you submit this remediation assignment with no work, you just circle answers, I am not going to replace any of your zeros, okay? So you must show work for every single problem you want credit for, okay? So what I'm gonna do is the section of questions on domain and range If you get that section all right, then I will give you, I will fill in the zeros for the domain and range practice assignment. Okay, if you get all the inequalities section right, I will fill in the zeros for your inequalities practice assignment. One document. So you will submit one thing, and then I will go through and I will grade it, and I will see if you did your work. And then I will fill in the zeros according to each section. I will label on the test document which assignments they're going to fill in for. I am not going to do this for every single one of the assignments because I still think that you guys need to learn to pay attention to due dates, but it will cover probably about half of the assignments that we've done. So that's about half of the zeros you possibly could have gotten, which is much better than none of them, okay? And I will post this in the next couple of days, and you'll have to the end of the quarter to do it. I think that that's about it. So you'll submit one document with all these sections. If you got 100 on the inequalities section, you don't need to do any of the problems from the inequalities section because you don't need those zeros replaced. Are there questions about this remediation assignment that I'm going to give? Okay, if there are no questions, then we're going to go ahead and start with our lesson today. And I will let you guys know when that assignment is posted so that you can go ahead and get started. You will have until the end of the quarter to get that in, and I will put that grade in before the end of the quarter so that it will replace all your zeros before grades come out, okay? All right, so we are talking about inequalities and piecewise functions today. We need to talk about these inequalities, okay? We've already talked about them a little bit, I believe. We talked about set notation for our absolute value stuff, but we're gonna go through them again. So this one means less than. And this document is on Canvas, and so is filled in document. So feel free to write this on notebook paper. Peyton, did you have a question?
No.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind turning your microphone off if you don't have a question.
I mean, sorry.
What you just do?
Cause my goddamn microphone.
Hey, Peyton, I need you to turn your microphone off if you don't have a question.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought it was.
Okay, so we have our less than symbol. We have our greater than symbol. Okay, then we have less than or equal to. And then we have greater than or equal to. Okay, so those are the four symbols we're using with our inequalities. And we've gone over those already, so this should just be a review. Okay. Now, we've also gone over this before, but we're going to go over it one more time. Inequalities can be represented in with words or on a number line. So we're going to go through what each of those looks like. Okay, so when we have x greater than 3, obviously, that is going to be written as x is greater than 3. And on our number line, maybe we have